Let's welcome back to the show from House Judiciary. He's Congressman Darrell Issa. Happy birthday to you, Congressman. It's good to see you tonight. Congressman, you know, this is what's going on. We're watching the coverage, right, of what's happening with the midterm election and the elections next week. We had a lot of problems on Halloween, Congressman, but we don't see former President Obama, Biden talking about this. At least 14 shot in Chicago, several children as included there, 3 shot and killed in Philly, a driver shot by a cop after he tried to plow his car through a Halloween block party in Omaha, Nebraska. Where are the Democrats on this?
Well, quite frankly, Liz, they're telling us not to believe what our eyes see, what's really happening in our neighborhood, and it just can't wash. The fact is that crime has risen because of these policies, and now they're either trying to obfuscate them or outright deny them, and it's not working. People know what they see. Even liberal newspapers have to report the challenges of rising crime because of these soft on crime policies, including defund the police, which has been championed by the left, not by the old Bill Clinton left, but by the left that's running both the federal and state governments around the country.
Yeah, U.S. murders have been on the rise since 2018, Congressman. Let's watch the View's Joy Behar and New York Governor Democrat Kathy Hochul downplay crime. Hochul is now in a tight race with Lee Zeldin. Watch this.
The Republicans now coming up to the next election, which is next week, by the way, all they do is talk about crime, crime, crime. Well, I looked it up. Murders in major cities have fallen by 4% so far in 2022 compared with the same period a year ago. So crime is not on the rise. It's actually going down under Joe Biden.
He's pounced on instances of violent crime in New York City. It's been a consistent theme of his campaign. Is this just a distorted way of campaigning?
These are master manipulators. They have this conspiracy going all across America to try and convince people that in democratic states they're not as safe.
Anyone who commits a crime under our laws, especially with the change they made to bail, has consequences. I don't know why that's so important to you.
So U.S. murders are on the rise. How is this a distortion when people are getting murdered? How is this being a conspiracy, as we just heard? I mean, Joy Behar and Kathy Hochul are outright misleading Americans right here, Congressman.
Well, there's an old expression which is statistics don't lie, but if you want to lie, use statistics. And that's what they're doing. They'll pick and choose something, one little 4%. The fact is, across the board in Democrat states, and particularly in Democrat cities, crime has been rising, and the laws they've been passing, both defunding the police and getting rid of the kind of enforcement and arrest. My home state, they outright simply made it about impossible for the police to lock up somebody until the crime is as heinous as the one committed against Paul Pelosi. The reality is, soft on crime belongs to the Democratic Party, and they don't want to own it, and they want to deny it, and it's not working because voters see through it, and they want a change. This is an election about change. This change is coming. If you call 911 and nobody comes, you're going to look for a different number. The Republican Party has become the 911 party.
Okay, we've got Gallup and Pew showing the majority of Americans say they don't feel safe, that crime is up in their areas. We got the 56% of voters say that, 51% of independents. Felons being let out of prison to murder again because of no cash bail in states like New York and California. You know, Congressman, this past February, Christina Yuna Lee stabbed to death in her apartment in New York City. The man who was arrested for her murder released from jail without bail. You pointed out the man who assaulted Nancy Pelosi's husband might have been let out of a California jail without bail because federal charges for things like kidnapping or keeping him in prison. That's federal charges. New York is among states with no cash bail, so is California. NYPD says crime is up in New York City double digits. It's up in California, too. Let's show the numbers. Go ahead, Congressman.
You know, absolutely. And going back to the terrible attack on Paul Pelosi, the fact is that was an illegal immigrant with a long drug history and some purported mental illness. And the fact is the state did not take action and needs to take action before somebody gets attacked.
Got it. Congressman Issa, thanks for coming on. Happy birthday again to you. That was a tough subject we tackled, but we'll have you back on again soon.